Hi, I'm Lars, and today I want to talk about avoiding distractions when drawing. So the first thing I suggest is that you make a task list of the stuff that you want to draw today. Your drawing accomplishments. I believe that's a good first step at avoiding distractions, because if you have a solid plan of what you need to do today, that's a great way to start, really building up your drawing confidence and also understanding what exactly you need to do to avoid distractions. So another point that I want to mention is lacking drawing confidence. So when you're starting off, you're going to be bad. No matter what thing you're drawing, unless you're a pro already, I would say even pros probably struggle with this as well if they haven't drawn that specific thing for a while, is lacking the ability to draw the thing they want to make. Except that it takes a lot of time to build up the confidence to draw the thing that you want to. No matter what it is, everything has its quirks, and it takes many hours of failure to get to the point that you can draw something. Whether that be vehicles or fish or insects, just know that each thing is a complete unique case, and no two things are going to be like exactly the same when you're drawing them. Even like, let's say you have a fish and you want to draw it from a different perspective, it's going to be a whole new study in itself. Now, there are certain things that you learn from drawing that one fish, you could say, but know that, like, if you're viewing it in another perspective, things are going to be foreshortened. Certain things that you may have gotten used to drawing in one way are going to look a bit different in the perspective. Like, if you're looking at, like, a fin of a fish, like, sideways compared to, like, straight on from maybe, like, a 3/4 angle, it's going to be a whole new challenge in itself. But just know that it takes a long time to get to like the level in which you can immediately look at something. You could try to draw it and maybe be bad at first, but eventually you can get like close enough, you could say, or you could even keep trying to improve and get really good at the thing you want to draw. Now, the third thing I wanted to mention is establishing a dedicated drawing area. I find it extremely important to do that, because every time you go to that drawing area, you know that this area is, the place that you're going to draw, and you're going to do nothing else but draw. So like it primes you. You get into this good habit of sitting down, being ready to pick up your digital pencil or a real pencil and start going to town with drawing. Now, this could be a bit difficult because not everyone has like an extra room. I don't. I use my bedroom. But even just like a desk in a corner of an area with nothing else on it could be really helpful. Like personally, I just have like my computer, mouse, and keyboard and my drawing tablet on my desk and my microphone, and nothing else. Like I keep my phone off my desk because like that is way too distracting. I don't have anything else on it. No books, just no nothing, because like even anything that you have on there could be something that it could be an excuse for you for looking at it or picking it up, and I believe that that's just like a bad habit to make. So the other thing I wanted to mention is avoiding noise. So I find most forms of noise, besides like white noise, like from birds outside, or maybe if you're in like a library or something like that, and there's like certain noise that you can avoid. Anything else, it's a bad idea. Playing music in the background, a horrible idea. Classical music, way too distracting. Some people may have exceptions to this. Some people may think they work more effectively when they're listening to it. Everyone has their quirks, but I would highly advise against it. It is way too distracting. I don't really believe that people can multitask to the level that many people say they can. I just don't think it works. So the other thing I want to mention is establishing a daily drawing time. So it doesn't have to be for just 2 hours a day. You could chunk it up more, but I do suggest you take breaks in between. But the thing you should know is setting aside drawing time, saying, okay, for this time, I'm going to draw. You'll be in a great position, because if you learn about yourself, you'll learn what times am I most effective at drawing? What times do I start to get worse at drawing? Have I been drawing so long to the point that I'm getting worse? Like me personally, I will not draw past 9:30 p.m. because I know I'm just going to do work, like bad. For some reason, I just get tired around that time. I'm guessing that's the time that like a lot of people start to like wind down, getting ready for bed and whatnot. And I know from personal experience that around 9:20, 9:30, when I'm making marks on any page, they're going to start being bad, and I'm going to be thinking to myself, like, wow, this is awful. I've been drawing for the entire day. I did my warm-up just to be getting bad at it. Like, what the heck? Just know that it's not that you're getting bad, it's just that you're getting tired. So the other point that I want to mention is your phone. Whoa, this one is something that I'm pretty sure everyone in our generation could experience in one form or another about being addicted to it. One thing I want to say is, putting it on silent or like vibrate mode, that's a pretty good solution. Don't keep it on your desk. Trust me, it's too distracting. You'll be looking at it too often. Personally, even when like I wouldn't receive messages from anyone, I would still think occasionally that like, oh, did I just get a text message? But the funny thing is, my phone was on my desk, but like I felt like the vibrations from it in my pocket. So like I'm pretty sure that has to do with like us being so addicted to it. We're so used to receiving stimulus from it that the second we don't, our brain's making it up to think that we did, to kind of maybe get that like serotonin boost or whatnot. So yeah, just know that as much as you think you could have your phone on your desk, it does not work out. Yeah. So originally I was pretty addicted to my phone, to the point that like it was distracting everywhere I went. So I started doing meditation, or like mindfulness meditation. The idea is you focus for like a short amount of time, 10 minutes or so, and away from your phone. So the idea is, to eliminate all distractions whatsoever, to just be like with your mind. And if you do that, it primes you for eventually getting into the flow of like doing something. You could focus on a given task without being distracted by your phone every 2 seconds or so. So the other bullet point I want to talk about is don't eat or drink when you're drawing. Even just having it on the side and occasionally taking a bite or a drink, I find it extremely distracting. Some people may have water on the side to take a sip or so of that. I'd say, yeah, you could do that, but in general, it's gonna be bad for you in the long run. I also suggest you don't eat like foods that make you feel sluggish before drawing. I mean, if you're gonna eat something like that, just make sure you get your drawing time in before that. I find it way too distracting. Like carbs, complex carbs, sugar. I find like I try to avoid that food in general, but just know that it will affect you. I mean, it affects me, but maybe you have a different experience. The other thing is, so coffee. I do suggest coffee or tea around some time if you're extremely tired. Personally, I wake up a bit early, so I kind of need it to keep me going throughout the day. I can't advise everyone to do this. You kind of have to know what works for you. But for me, it kind of helps me, but eventually I do crash like 5 or so hours later. I also will not drink like coffee or something, or tea, too close before like I'm trying to like wind down for the night, because it will keep you up. I mean, caffeine tends to really affect me hard, so like I would make sure I have coffee like maybe before 6 or 7 p.m. I mean, usually if I have it past 7, I know that I'm going to be up until like 1 or 2 in the morning, and I don't like that. The other thing you want to do is know your cutoff time. So for me, it's 9:30 p.m. Usually it's like from 9:20 to 9:30 p.m., but I know at that point that like I cannot focus anymore. I will try to draw, and I'll be doing worse than when I started. I kind of mentioned this before, but figuring out what time is your cutoff time, I find that so important, because I mean, this could be like the point for someone in which someone may think they're just not made for drawing. I mean, I think everyone can learn to draw, but the important thing is knowing your cutoff time is extremely important, because you know that like, okay, it's 9:30, my brain is going to start trying to lie to me that I can't do this. And so just know that that's not the case. It's called being human. There's no cure for it, sadly. I would, yeah, there's no cure. Well, yeah, there is a cure. It's called getting sleep and knowing your cutoff times. So that's what I would suggest. The last bullet point that I want to mention is sometimes admitting that you can't get away from distractions. Now, I know that sounds annoying as hell, but just know that if you live with roommates or parents, sometimes, they're going to make noise, and not everyone could, like, go to their parents and, like, tell them, hey, I'm trying to, like, sometimes they may understand. Other parents may not be so accepting of it and say, like, hey, this is my house. So stuff like that. Yeah, I talk from experience, so but just know that, like, sometimes you may need to find the times when your roommates or people you're living with or parents aren't in the house and draw then at like the least distracting times. If that's not possible, sometimes it may be beneficial for you to either like, go outside or go to a library or like a coffee shop or something. There's some place that has Wi-Fi. I mean, only if you need internet. If you don't, then, finding some quiet place could be extremely beneficial to you to avoid distractions. But I know this isn't possible for everyone because maybe certain people like may not have a car. I don't have a car right now. So yeah, learn what works for you. If you have any other suggestions like that you would like for me to add to this list, like please leave something in the comments and I may suggest adding it to this list. But yeah, thanks for listening to me. Bye.